Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
It would be nice if I'd add myself to the show. I'm sitting back here dancing around. I was like, where am I? Anyway, that's okay. That's okay. It's that kind of a day, y'all. Welcome to the 16th day of January. We're moving on. Can you believe it? This month is already half gone. Just took down Christmas. Our neighbors still have their Christmas lights up. I'm just saying. Well, that's really nothing. You know what? You want to hear something funny? Once upon a time when I lived in Hollywood, California, I was the manager of an apartment building, Las Palmas Villa Apartments, right? And there was a woman who it was Valentine's Day. I'll never forget it. And our hallways at this apartment complex, indoor building, which means, you come in and take elevators up, carpeted hallways, right? This woman lived on the 3rd floor, which was the top floor. She had a real live Christmas tree. She had sprayed it. I guess they call that flocking. She kept that tree until Valentine's Day and then drug it out, just drug it down the hallways. I went up, I saw needles and flocking and stuff all the way. And ever since then, anyone who keeps their Christmas stuff up for longer than now, I'm going like, When did you take your Christmas stuff down, or have you? So anyway, welcome you guys to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. It is, are you ready? Polar vortex going on here in Chicago, -9 degrees right now. Now, I was in Denver, really Colorado Springs, speaking on Saturday. I went Friday, spoke Saturday, came back Saturday night. It was 19 below, right? Plus we were 8,000 feet up, which if I stepping up into the car made me go, oh Lord, I can't breathe. Right. So anyway, -9 here in Chicago land. So stay, protect your 3Ps, pets. What are the others? Your pets, your plants. I'm just going to take a guess. Parents. I don't know. There's 3Ps. The lady on the news said it the other night. What are they? Do you know the 3Ps when it's cold, cold? Parents, pets, plants, pets, and I can't figure it out. If you think you know, put it in the chat. Guess what? Let's talk about something for a second. I'm so excited to have today's guest. She's a quiet little brilliant girl, woman, all of that. She's so smart, so smart. It looks like her mom just went and there she was. They're so similar, and her mom is brilliant as well. Arianna Bannerjee is here today, and she is the author of this book, Don't Give Them Power, A Journey of Healing. And what I love about this is Arianna is, I believe, a freshman in college, sophomore in college. In college, I see her. She's in the green room trying to tell me. But you're not in high school, are you? You're in high school? See how great she is? I just assumed she was in college. This girl, I love her message. If you have someone in your world, some young person, some older person, it could be you, that has dealt with or is currently dealing with any form of bullying. Usually when we think of people speaking about having been bullied, we think of, little ones. And I have a little clip later that we're going to talk about, but it's not just that case. And even if it were when you were smaller, do a lot of us, I will say, carry the results of that moving forward into our life, teenage, adult, on and on. Now, I want to say this. This is why I'm so excited that Arianna is here today and that she's written this great and powerful book, is this. We always hear the term, you hear people say, oh yeah, hurt people hurt people. Because people that are bullies, say like in middle school or high school, anywhere, most likely they've been bullied or are currently being bullied somewhere we don't get to see. For instance, a bully at school might go home and have a stepdad or stepmom or somebody or stepbrother or whatever bullying them there, and they come and now they give it to someone else. But I believe, because I was bullied, and no, I don't think I was ever the bully, because my empathy level is so high. I stand up for kids that are getting bullied. I would never fight for myself, but I would fight for somebody picking on some kid for real. But hurt people also heal people. And Ariana's going to prove that today. So listen, have you been on this show before, Arianna? No, she has not. But she's here now. So she's a first timer. Put some hearts on the screen. Welcome her in the comments. Share the broadcast out, because it takes a lot of courage to become, a spokesperson and to be vulnerable. And let's get her in here, you guys. Oh, here she comes. Put your hands together. So happy she's here. Arianna Bannerjee and her book. Hey, girl.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. About ready to pass out because you're nervous?
Yeah.
Don't be. You're amongst friends. You're amongst friends. Welcome. Looking like your mom. I mean it. So you're in high school?
I'm a senior in high school.
Girl, why did I think you were like a junior in college?
I just finished applying to colleges, so
Oh, how many did you apply to?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Do they still make you pay to apply?
I didn't have to. I got fee waivers.
Okay, that's a thing. They had that back in the
Yes.
dark ages when I was applying. Um, so what's your number one choice? We're
I
gonna pray for it. We're gonna help you manifest it. Give us your top three choices for colleges.
I want to go to Pepperdine. It's in Malibu, California.
California.
Yeah.
Guess who went there?
Who?
Guess who's an alumni there? Because I had a crush on her back in the day when I was still finding my way.
Oh.
I thought I liked girls back then. Kim Fields,
Oh.
Tootie from Girl. You don't know Tootie and Blair and
No.
mm. She used to do Mrs. Butterworth commercials when she was a little girl. I love you, Mrs. Butterworth. Yeah. So anyway, Pepperdine, great school. Okay, where else?
The next one, I say DePaul. It's here in Illinois
Here.
because they
Whose
have.
idea was that school? Your mother's?
No, it was mine because they offer a good program for medical students.
Who going into medicine?
Me.
I told y'all she was smart. That was a trap.
Yeah.
Okay. And then third,
My third one, I'd have to say Loyola Marymount University. It's also
nice.
in California. I just want to go out of state, but I want I applied to good programs everywhere.
Congratulations. I'm going to say congratulations in advance. You're going to get all that you hope for. You're going to have trouble picking because I think you're going to get accepted to all of them. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so you want to go into what type of medicine?
I want to do research in oncology.
Oh, like cancer.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get there? What makes you? Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, my thing about that has been that I've lost many people to cancer. So I I just want to help cure cancer. That's my
I
goal.
hear you. Talk about reaching for that high diving board. You go. That's what I love. So, okay. So you are officially how I know you're not supposed to ask a woman how old she is, but that doesn't go into effect until you're 18. After 18, we can't ask you. How old are you?
I'm 17.
You're 17. You graduate in June.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Now that you're on the other side of January, we're in 2024 now.
Yeah.
School, really, high school, you don't have much to do now. You know that, right?
I know. I'm
It's just
graduating at 17.
yay. I did too. Yay. So let me ask you something let's get to the book. Tell everybody how this came to be. Don't give them power, right? What it says a journey of healing. You're 17 years old. Are you 17 yet?
Yeah, I'm 17.
Yeah, you just oh look, you just turned it. I see happy birthday in the back. Just kidding, y'all. That's from August. So what happened? What could you at your young age have to have healed from? I'm just saying that, of course, lots of trauma
Yeah.
happens when we're children. But tell everybody what this is all about.
Yeah, so I had a lot of early childhood trauma. It happened as soon as I transferred from a private Catholic school into a public school because I believe that the private school was more diverse, so I was accepted more than an entirely Hispanic school. And I'm half Mexican and half Indian, so they saw me as different. Like I'm not just Mexican. They see me as the outsider. So I was bullied from 3rd to 8th grade every single day almost.
5 years.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Okay, now I'm looking at you. Unless back then, I don't know, did you wear the Indian dot or did
No.
it's not like half of you looks Hispanic and the other half looks Indian. You just look exotic.
Yeah.
You could be either one of those.
It had to do with my last name. People were confused and they asked where it came from. So I told them I was proud to say at that time I'm Indian. I'm half Indian and I'm half Mexican. And that's when people found out and they started making fun of me.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, weren't there kids that were fully Mexican? You said Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or fully Indian. Did they get
No,
bullied as well?
so I went to a predominantly Hispanic school.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, so it was just me. I was the only Indian kid there.
Wow. So what okay, okay. So that was hard and kids can be really cruel. Now,
Yeah.
did someone was it like someone went and clapped on the bullying light and from then on or did one person start let's talk about the ripple effect. Let's talk about that. How did it start? Was it slow coming or did it just like hit you like a tsunami?
It was slow, actually. I had a few friends in 3rd grade, I remember, and then it all started coming from even the people that I thought were my friends. So,
Huh. Okay, so what do you remember, seriously, Ariana, when it got ugly? You know, because I remember things happen when you're a kid, and yeah, I do, even 100 years ago, I do remember, believe it or not. Um, but you hope that it's just gonna wash over. You
yeah.
know, it's just temporary. And then, but then to find that this thing is not, for you said 5 years.
Yeah.
Did you tell your teachers? I'm sure you told your mom and dad.
I,
What did the adults have to offer as far as something that might change the situation?
so I was a really quiet kid. I never told anyone what I was going through, even though I was going through very tough times. I I got my first F in 3rd grade because I was very, I guess, traumatized. I didn't know what to do or how to handle it. But my parents didn't see anything wrong, and I didn't think I should tell them because I didn't think that they would know how to help me or just understand me at
Isn't that
all.
crazy how kids will think, well, they're adults and all, but what do they know? You
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Here's an opportunity, and I really hope that if I go too far, just you don't have to answer,
No, it's
you
okay.
know. But can you kind of shed some light on? So you leave school. I'm just trying to get what the cycle, because 5 years we all know what that looks like on the calendar, but multiply it by 100 when you're a kid. Look how long Christmas took to come every year when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Forever. Oh my God, how many months? Like 30 months ago, Christmas was here.
Mhm.
Um, so a day feels like a week feels like a month, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So here, what was the cycle like? You would go to school every day, it would happen. What kind of things would they say or do?
They when they would have their good days and bad days. Like sometimes they would be nice to me. Other days, like if they just see me and they're bothered by me, they'd just say, "Go back to your country, you Indian," or something like that. Even though technically both of our parents are immigrants, and I knew that, but I never said anything like that to them. But I guess it kind of hurt me a little bit because, like, I'm from here, I was born here, and they're saying that to me. But honestly, the most I remember was from 7th and 8th grade, which was the worst part
Let's
of
talk
it
about that. How so?
because, yeah.
What
Um,
made it how did it change from middle school to
yeah, so in primary school or whatever, it was not really that harsh. I was able to kind of push through it, it was just words. They weren't physically hurting me or whatever. But in 7th and 8th grade, people started pushing me, punching me, poking
what?
me with pencils. And then I started wearing sweaters because I didn't want anyone to see what what I had on my arms.
The
So,
marks, the literal marks.
yeah.
And you kept it a secret at home as well?
Yeah, I would always wear sweaters at the house, but I would just say it was because I'm cold. Because I do always have cold hands for some reason. something wrong with me. But
Did people around you start seeing a change and say, "What's wrong, Ariana?" And you'd go, "Nothing, nothing." How did it work at home? Because your mom doesn't seem like she misses much.
yeah, nobody really saw anything at home until the end of 8th grade.
Oh,
Because I hid it for that long. It was after COVID started when my grades started going really bad because I just didn't have any motivation anymore.
what was the worst thought, if you can remember, that ever crossed your mind in that 5-year cycle of perpetual bullying? I'm gonna run away. I want to kill myself. What was it? What was the furthest thing that crossed your mind that was an unhealthy thought, in your opinion?
So I did actually want to commit suicide. Like I had a plan and everything, and that's why I didn't try anymore at the end of 8th grade because I was going through such a hard time that I just had the plan like what's the point if I'm just gonna kill myself?
Yeah, why do this homework? I ain't
Yeah.
gonna be. I'll be dead. Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So
So let's talk about that. You had a plan.
yeah.
So how long did it take you to put the? Do you remember when you started formulating the plan? The plan.
I guess it was actually before COVID, like that year before we got the 2 weeks off of school.
Uh huh. And what? And what? So how did that happen? Let's talk. I'm trying to. What was the entry point where one day, okay, I'm dealing with this. I'm just keeping real bullshit. I'm tired of this. Da da da. Oh, I know. Why don't I just kill myself? What did you reach for next? Did you go to YouTube to look for
Yeah,
ways to
I
do
did.
it? Because
Yeah.
if you had a plan, it means you kind of was thinking about how you were gonna do it, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily like that. It was just that someone had actually told me to kill myself
One of the kids.
multiple times. And I told the teacher there was that one time I was tired of it that I told the teacher, and since me and that person argued so much in class, the teacher wouldn't even listen to me. I I yelled at the teacher. I'm like, "He just told me to kill myself and you're going to let him say that to me." And he
Right.
just and he just told me to shut up and get back in my seat.
Did that ever come out
No.
about that see? There needs to be protocol. And you're an adult now, pretty much. So what would you suggest to a kid who gets that same situation where the teacher know and they don't get any answers at that level? If you were the woman you are now, if you knew what you knew now then, what would you do differently after that teacher responded like that? What would you do?
I would definitely walk out of the classroom and go to the principal's office.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because that's wrong what
Yeah.
that teacher did. That's totally wrong. So, okay, so you start developing a plan. Was it just in your head, or did you have a journal? Did you write it down? Did you share the secret with anybody?
I didn't tell anybody. I didn't write it down because I didn't want my parents to see. Because I did have a journal where I was writing down my feelings, and my parents read the whole thing, which I thought was supposed to be private. That was my own private thoughts, and then they grabbed my journal and read the whole thing. And I felt violated, so I didn't write anything in there anymore.
After that? But
Yeah.
doesn't it feel, in retrospect, don't aren't you glad your parents grabbed it and read it?
Yeah, that's when they saw that there was something wrong.
And I'm gonna say this: you have some wonderful parents,
Yeah.
because I have a coaching client. Hi, Frank, who is a retired New York City police detective, and in his career, he says he did over 1,000 suicide calls. And he said the thing that stood out each and every time, that just baffled him, was how the people that were standing around the body whether it was a roommate, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, parents, grandparents, whoever it was, they were always shocked that it had happened. And they always said, I had no idea they were going through anything. And we all go, how do you not know? Shame on you. Da, 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 da. But your parents, see, if they hadn't grabbed that book, let's be hypothetical for a moment, shall we, Arianna?
Yeah.
What do you think may have happened if your parents had not done what they did by reading your private thoughts?
I don't think they would have ever known.
Do you think you might have ended up actually acting on this thought of killing yourself?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. Right, right. Oh, so okay. So let's in a young person's mind, did you get as far as saying, I'm gonna do it like this? I'm
No.
gonna hold my nose until I can't breathe anymore, which of course would save you. Or I'm gonna hang myself, or I'm because the only reason I'm asking is I saw a documentary a few months ago about some parents who were suing social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, because their kids had learned how to commit suicide on by watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm Who knew? There are literally, do you know this? YouTube videos on how to kill yourself.
Yeah, I don't know why they have that out there, but
But let us say one wrong thing on Facebook. You're against community standards.
yeah.
But then they let somebody show you how to tie a knot that will kill you. Use this for your news. I just don't get it. So, okay. But did you get that far or no?
No, I did not get that far.
Thank goodness. Good. Good.
It was just a constant tearing myself down after being put down by everybody else, and that constant thought in my head that why am I still here? What am I doing? Like what am I going to do with the rest of my life? You know, what is wrong with me? Why don't people like me? And
Yeah.
yeah.
And when did it start turning around for you where the bullying kind of faded and you kind of found yourself? How old were you then?
I was I was 13 when I graduated from there.
From 8th grade.
Yeah.
So you went off to high school the next year.
Yeah.
Things changed
I think it helped that we were online the first year.
because
So,
of COVID.
yeah. So that helped me a lot because I was able to just keep my face away from everybody and have some time to heal on my own, I guess. And it helped that I didn't have anybody from my middle school and my high school that
To
was,
say, yeah, that's what's her name. Yeah,
yeah.
you know what we call her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So were you excited about high school?
I was excited about it after I ended that plan of killing myself. So I was like, it's a new start, a new beginning. So I looked forward to it.
Did you have a best friend?
I did, but I recently cut her off.
Oh, that's a whole nother show, y'all.
Yeah.
What'd she do? Look at your boyfriend wrong?
Maybe. No,
I knew it.
I'm just kidding. It's
I'm
not.
kid- yeah.
It's,
So let's go to the point. Okay, so now you start high school. When did you decide that I'm going to turn my pain into purpose? And this came about. Don't give them power. Your book about bullying. Um, when did you ever think once you got to high school and you were in the safe zone, so to speak, that you would revisit the proverbial scene of the crime, which you had to do in order to write this? Why did you decide to write this book, and why did you feel it was necessary for your healing? And how did
okay.
you know that? How did you know it would even help?
So I actually didn't plan on writing the book. I've always wanted to be an author. I started writing a horror story book when I was in third grade, but I scared myself into not writing anymore because I didn't know what would happen next, even though I was in control of what happened next. But
Mhm.
I had the opportunity with Dream Scribers to write a book at my young age. And I had no idea. I thought you had to be at least 30 years old to be an author. I did not know that I could write a book at my age.
You y'all catch that? I did. She said, "I thought you had to be at least 30." Like, in other words, I thought you had to be old as hell in order to write a book. To write a book. I know that's what you're saying. So, do you still think 30 is old?
No, I don't think 30 is old.
What about 61?
No, you're halfway to you're 60% to 100.
Yeah, thanks for that. Okay. Okay, because that's my thanks. Okay, so when you started thinking about the book, what came first? Did you write the book and then you titled it? How did you get to this title? Don't give them power. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I wrote the book and then we figured out a title after
I had a
because
feeling.
I was struggling on a title. If I was working on the title before I wrote anything, I probably would not have that title. I had a few different titles before then, but I wanted something unique that no other books were titled the same, so I could have my own thing.
Can I ask you something? I'm looking at the back cover. You really are smart. Oh my goodness. Member of the National Honor Society, you play chess. You learned how to speak Korean at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Korean, why? Because you already knew Spanish? So you're like,
No, no, it was because we were learning Korean in middle school, so I just wanted to follow through.
let me hear something.
Um, 감사합니다.
What's that?
Thank you for me being on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. How do you say you're welcome in Korean?
Um, I forgot, but
Okay, good,
just
because I probably couldn't say it anyway. Okay. Are you gonna take any languages in college?
I hope so. I wanted to do French because my dad's fluent in French.
He is?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you should have been talking back and forth with him already.
yeah,
Okay. So let me just read from the back cover. And then I want you to tell us about the Dream Scribers program too. I think that's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
It's a 12-week no-cost program.
Yeah, we have to raise funds for ourselves, so they don't really get paid in that sense. That all our money goes to our own book journey. So they
How
teach
did you
us
find out about Dream Scribers?
um I think my mom found it through Facebook.
Okay. All right. And that's Takara Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes, I know her well now. She actually coaches with me. She's awesome. And she also works with young people as well as the incarcerated population. Think it's beautiful. Think it's beautiful. So when the so whose idea was the book? Your mom's or yours?
My mom told me that I had an opportunity to write a book if I want to, and I pretty much jumped at the opportunity because I wanted to write a book since 3rd grade.
And what better? And you must be an authority unless you're writing fiction, and you were writing nonfiction. So let me ask you: was the process difficult? What was it like to sit down and start pouring all of that pain out on the page? What was that like? What was the? Was there any? Were there challenges? Was
It
it
was
liberating? What was it?
very hard, especially because at that time I had classes to study for my SAT for junior year. I had so many things going on, a lot of homework, and then I still had to write my book. And I would cry while writing it because that was my way of healing, letting it all go and leaving it in the past where it belongs because it shaped me into who I am today and I remembered that.
Awesome. So as you're writing, did you feel was it cathartic like they say? did you feel a change in you? Um, it's all I know this is a horrible analogy, but was it kind of like gas, better out than in?
Yeah, I felt a little free, like I had weight lifted off of my chest and off my back for a little while that I've been keeping in for years.
Can you read that? What's on the screen? Can you see that? That's Korean, I think.
Um, 안녕.
You read that?
Yeah.
Oh, because someone on here says they speak in. They're saying your welcome in Korean was for myself a challenge to get the sound right. Wow, what are the odds? You guys are the best audience ever.
I'm
Keep it
so
up.
so it doesn't really sound great.
I know. I know. I can do it. I just and let alone read it too. No. So let me ask you this: what about when people started asking you about the book? Oh, I heard you're writing a book. Or when's your book going to be done? Did you feel pressure or did you start thinking like, "Oh my god, my secret"? Was there any point along the way, I guess I'm asking Ariana, where you were like, "Oh my god, what have I gotten myself into?"
Um, yeah, because I only had 6 weeks to write the book.
Mm.
So I didn't have a lot of time, and it was published on July 22nd, but I only had 6 weeks to write the book around the most important time of the year where I was supposed to be studying for my finals and my SAT and everything. So I had to get on it, and I wanted to add more to the book, but I felt that I should put that energy into my second book
What second book?
that is coming in a few years.
Okay, so you've already decided that there's a second book. Any idea what that will be about?
Um, Probably for parents, like specifically for parents.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm not even gonna go there because I know that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Let's talk about the the healing. What was your hope when you were writing? Did you ever imagine the girl who is now dealing with you dealt with, or the boy, the person? Did you ever find yourself speaking directly to that person that you in you know what I mean? Like as you were writing this, talk about that experience.
So when I was writing the book, I imagined as if I was talking to my younger sisters, and I don't want them to read the book yet because it's a little I haven't told them everything that I've gone through. But I was speaking to them in the book.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Because sometimes we need that inspiration
Yeah,
to get out of our own way. We can do it for other people where we couldn't do it for ourselves.
yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I want to ask you this. Bullying is not something that we don't hear a lot about. It's not an unfamiliar topic. But do you feel that in schools enough is being done to educate um, kids about it? Kids themselves, like to speak to the future and the present bullies. Do you think that we could do better explaining to them? Do you really realize what you're doing when you do this? Or not? Do you feel like we're dropping the ball and failing our kids?
I feel like schools need to do better, and even it starts at home. I feel like parents should also teach their kids like not everyone's going to like you at school, like it's okay. And I feel like because I didn't grow up like that, and I just grew up with everybody loving me at home, and then I go to school and all these people are mean to me. I'm like, why don't you like me? I wanted that. And I feel like schools should also work harder to teach kids that it's not okay, and actually show the effects of bullying, because it's not great on mental health. There's always going to be that voice in your head rather than a bruise that'll go away in a few weeks.
Mm. Powerful, powerful. Do you think that this will be something that you will champion for your entire life?
My book?
The cause for anti-bullying. Do you think that that'll be something you'll support forever?
Yes, definitely.
Because it was such a huge part of your journey early in your journey. I agree. Um, and in a way, it helps us understand that, it's never about just one thing. Look what those bullies actually gave you. I mean, yeah, it sucked at the time, but they
Yeah.
gave you a voice
Yeah.
to help others through, and that's a pretty powerful thing. That's a pretty
Yeah.
powerful thing. Do you ever run into people that are being bullied that don't know your story? You hear them talking about it, and then you're able to step in and use your experience to help them? Or what is that like? Do you get triggered?
Yeah, I've actually been the person that's able to stand up for others but never for myself. I don't know
That was
why. It's
me. That
just
was
always
me.
been that way.
Right. Isn't that interesting?
I feel like it's
How
harder for it to be myself than another person because I
that
know how they feel.
exactly. Exactly. I remember when I was being bullied, because of course, I went through so much
Yeah.
bullying. Of course, being in foster care and you came out of the trash and all these kind of things that kids can say that are so cruel. Um, I remember sometimes people would say things, and not just kids. Let's don't get it twisted. Adults
Yeah.
said some pretty wrong shit. I'm gonna just keep it real. Kind of like your teacher.
Yeah.
Gone. That's blowing it off. Where it felt like I literally. Do you remember this? Where someone that people can actually say things that feel like someone actually punched you in the stomach. You can physically feel it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I do. I remember running home and couldn't wait to get home to run in my room and just dive on the bed and bury my face in the pillow and just cry, 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 cry.
Yeah.
What about those days where you didn't want to? Did you ever say you didn't want to go to school because you were sick just to
Oh,
stay out of it,
I did, and sometimes I would call my parents while I was at school just to go home early because I was feeling sick over there.
which was really just a situation, nothing physical?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel in your own situation that you could have benefited from counseling or therapy, having a person to speak to while you were going through this, um, once it was out? And did your parents or the adults around you ask you if you wanted someone to talk to?
Yeah, I think I probably would have benefited from that, especially talking to my bully, like a monitored conversation, because I actually did have that in high school in sophomore year,
Okay.
where I had a monitored conversation where he apologized to me. He wrote me a letter and said how sorry he was for making me feel the way I did, because I'm so nice to everybody. I try my best to be as kind as I can because I don't want people to feel the way that I did. And I I blew up when he started talking about me and my family. He said that Gandhi is probably my grandpa.
How
And
did you take that? Did you take that as an insult or a compliment?
well, I took it as an insult at the time because of the way that he said it and his face when he said it. And he was disrespecting Gandhi after that.
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
so I got upset at him. I'm like, how why would you disrespect my culture? What did I do to you? You shouldn't be talking to me like that. And I spoke up for myself the first time in so many years, and he actually backed off and he didn't say anything after
So
that.
you learned something there.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk to me after that. He felt really bad and then he wrote me a letter.
How did it make you feel when you read that letter and it was a result of you standing up for probably the first time? Um, Talk about that. So, do you still have the letter?
No, the counselor kept it, but because it was like a monitored conversation where we
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
get it. How
Oh,
did you come to that place? Who brought the mediation? How did that transpire?
so the conversation was not quiet and the teacher told the counselor what happened. And then the counselor came to me later in the day asking me what happened and what that kid was doing, and said if I needed a monitored conversation for him to apologize. And I said um I don't want a forced apology. I want him to actually mean it. So he nobody told him to write a letter. He did that all on his own.
Okay.
So I told him that too. I'm like, you don't have to apologize to me because I don't want it to be forced out of you. I want you to mean it.
Mm, makes sense. You're I got your book in my hand, by the way. And I'm trying to get to the index with your here we go. So let's talk about how much time we got. Okay, we got 10 minutes. I wanted to ask you about so your chapter you have the beginning, sticks and stones, you think you have time, no one listened, parent pressure, forgiveness, and self-love are the chapters. Um which one of those chapters I just read would you say was the most difficult for you to write and why?
Um no one listens.
No
No.
one listened. What's that chapter about?
That chapter is about the teacher that just blew off the guy that told me to kill myself because I'm Indian.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that hurt me so much because he said that so much to me that I got it in my head, and at that point, like, that thought was stuck in my head for the longest. And then he didn't say anything. He just let him speak to me that way.
And I mean, you took it to the point where this kid in the book you call him Edward, um, poked you so hard with a pencil that you started bleeding.
Yeah.
Now, that is physical assault. Why do you feel you just took it and let him get away with it and did not go and report it?
Because at that time I didn't know. I didn't know that I could report somebody, but it's also because I didn't want him to get in trouble. I knew that he was also hurting.
How
Be-
did you know that?
because I've seen him also get bullied and he was just taking it out on me. Everybody was mean to him. So
Really?
I didn't want him to feel the way that I felt, even though I know that he was doing that to me.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. You know that, right? Not many people could think that way, especially inside the moment.
Yeah.
And you saw him. So hurt people do hurt people, but
Yeah.
that's his example. Now you changed that narrative for yourself with this book and your actions by hurt people can also help people, heal people.
Yeah.
Wow. So after the letter and whatnot, what's the relationship like? Did you guys talk? Did he still sit by you? What was it like moving forward from there?
Yeah, we weren't really friends. We were just peers, but he was nice to me after that. So,
It was, and then that did that help you to understand your own power?
yeah, it really
Yeah,
did.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what's it like when your family and friends start reading your story? Were they shocked? Were they like, oh my God, I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me? That kind of thing. And what do you say to them?
I apologize because I know it's also a selfish thing to do, and suicide is a selfish thought that I had because it was only solving my problem, and it would have caused so many people in my family and my friends at the time pain. And I didn't think about that. I was only thinking about myself and what I was going through, and that I needed to think about others. And it's not just about me, even though I was going through so much. And I apologize. Some of my cousins still haven't read it. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet because I'm very close to them. And it's just the fact that they
Why?
also went to
Why?
school with me, but they didn't know what was going on because we didn't have the same classes.
I see. I see. Thank you. The power of empathy. Absolutely right. So, can I just ask? I'm just curious. Did in all of your 20 schools that you applied for, did you let any of them know that you're a published author in your process of applying?
Yeah, all of them know because it's in the activities section that I put that I had the opportunity to write a book.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so this time next year, you'll be halfway done with your first year of college, right?
Yeah.
What what do you hope to see change, Ariana? Not just from your work, the book and your story, but what would you like to see different, say, by the time you have your own children, should you choose to have children? Um, what would you say you would love to be able to have a hand in changing if that were possible, as far as this type of situation for a kid?
I would love to have more kids understand that it's that everyone's going through their own thing and you just never know. Like you can look at somebody and you'll never know that they're going through something. Other people, it's easier to hide than others. And that's why you should just always be kind. And
Yeah,
I feel like parents should teach their kids that
you're
that
right.
it's okay and that they can work it out on their own also if they talk to them, but if it gets really bad then it really should be brought to the principal's attention.
I agree. Do you ever, when you hear about a suicide in a young person, how does that make you feel?
It makes me think about like that could have been me and
Right,
yeah.
right.
It just brings me back to all the things that I went through and how I was able to overcome it. And I wish that it could be the same for everybody. Like we could all get through our things and heal, but it's not easy for everybody.
It's not easy for everybody. You're so brilliant. I can't wait. You probably will find the cure for cancer. I don't doubt it. I really don't. I don't doubt it. I just love your work. Thank you for the book. They can find the book on Amazon, of course, correct?
Yeah.
Don't Give Them Power, A Journey of Healing by Arianna Bannerjee. There it is. And I just listen, you got to come back next year and fill us in on how college is going for you. And you know, all of that. Tell your mother, your father, we said hello. Your mom's in Mexico. They both in Mexico right now?
No, my dad's at work and my mom's in Mexico.
Your mom's in Mexico. Tell her I said hello and we need to catch up. And please reach in. Let us know here at Bathrobe Moments if there's ever anything we can do to help you. But I would love for you to come back and fill us in on how things are going in your journey. I know it's going to be great, great, great. A joy report that I look forward to. So you guys get out and support this young author. She's making a big difference in the world. There's the book again, A Journey of Healing. Is there anything in here? If you, I'm going to find something. Here we go. Closing with this. Chapter 7 opens like this. Forgiveness is the chapter, one of my favorite words. You say, I went through a lot for a kid my age. I know people are going through or have gone through much more than I have, but the reason I'm healing is that I'm learning to forgive. I've learned forgiveness isn't for the other person. I realized that I blamed myself for a lot of things that happened to me, and I had to change that. Instead of putting blame on people, I decided to give everyone for what they have done. It may feel like a lot to forgive, and you may not want to associate with that person anymore. I used to think that forgiveness meant I had to be friends with the people who had done me wrong, so I didn't want to forgive. I didn't want to be their friend after they hurt me so much, especially since they didn't apologize. But I forgave them anyway. If I spent my life blaming them and holding a grudge, I wouldn't be where I am now. Couldn't have said it better myself. You gave me chills. Oh, listen, you're going to do big things. You know this, right? You're going to do big. You're already doing big things, and I love you for it. Listen, thank you so much. It was a real blessing. It was an honor, and I can't wait to see what's next. What's next for you? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. I am going to get out of here and say, let me see. Let me line everything up. Is that what I'm looking for? This is a new thing here that I'm working with. Okay, I guess that's it. Okay, listen. Let me know what school you choose.
Okay.
Okay, because I think you're going to get into all of them. Get out. Okay, thank you so much, Arianna. God
Thanks
bless you.
for having me. Thank
Of
you.
course. And for all of you out there, listen, follow this young lady. You won't be sorry. And God willing, I'll meet you tomorrow morning right out on the front porch for another illuminated conversation at 8 a.m. Central. Tomorrow, we have a guest all the way from California, David Fagan with Top Talent PR agency is going to be here. David is actually, I don't have the copy here, but he's responsible for us being in the Los Angeles Tribune magazine right now for our work in Romania with the Power We Symposium back in May. So he'll be here tomorrow, so don't miss out. And get out today. Find your highest self. Find one way that you can ease some form of suffering in the world, just like our guest today, Arianna Bannerjee, has done by turning her pain into purpose. I'll see you. Get out there. I love you. And I tell you this every day. I love, love, love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So there, take that. Bye. Have a great day, Arianna. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it?